Hello, good
G'day.
afternoon. It's Sunday.
It is Sunday.
So you're probably thinking, why are we here on a Sunday?
I know. Absolutely
We're
mad.
thinking that too. No, we're here on a Sunday because we've got, obviously a lot of people can't always make Tuesday, so this is an alternative time, and we're really happy that today we've got Rob Hughes with us.
Hello.
Hi, Rob.
So, Rob, you need to tell us who you are.
Who
Am
are
I? Yeah. Who is Rob?
Who is Rob?
I've lived in Bournemouth for a long time now. Been an artist here for about 20 years, with no success, by the way. You could call it minimal success. But I've enjoyed it. The lifestyle has been wonderful, as I'm sure we're all in this for the lifestyle,
That's
not
right.
the money.
Exactly.
We've just been having a conversation about that, yeah.
It's all about the lifestyle.
So, have you always been an artist?
Well, I always wanted to be, but no is the answer to that. I spent a long time being labourer, window cleaner, driver, odd jobs, anything.
But painting, drawing at the same time, or just nothing
not
at
really.
all?
I mean, I would draw every day, but it was silly kids stuff. It wasn't, with any purpose in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you did draw every day though, because that's an interesting point. I mean, it brings us to the question, what is art, isn't it? Because some people, I mean, me personally, I don't like Picasso, but he's a major artist, and I appreciate that completely.
You don't like scribble. It's expressive.
I totally appreciate Picasso and what he did, but it's not my taste.
Yeah.
But you say you drew every day.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But you said you don't consider yourself an artist.
Well, no, I didn't say that. I said I wasn't an artist then.
Right.
See, there's a distinction.
Yeah.
There is.
So I'll tell you the story about how I became an artist, which is an interesting one. I find it interesting anyway, because I love the sound of my voice. Hi! So I was, my marriage had ended.
Okay.
I lost my house, my wife, my daughter, my dog, everything had gone. I was sitting in a pub at the bottom of Christchurch Road in Bournemouth, with this burning desire to be an artist, but not really knowing how to do it.
Yeah.
I'd had that since I was a child. I wanted to be a comic book artist.
Okay.
Very dearly wanted to do that. I even went to London and studied with David Lloyd in the London Cartoon Centre to learn how to do it. Realised I was rubbish at it, and it was really difficult.
That's a crusher, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
It's
right.
like, God damn.
And I'd been to art college as well. And I'm like, they teach me stuff, and then they don't want to teach you anything.
Yeah,
They just want to give you all the stuff there and let you play. And I'm like, no, you're just supposed to know how to do these things. Tell me.
Yeah.
I want the information. No, I didn't know any of that. So yeah, I'm in my late 30s. I'm sitting in this pub, and I wasn't feeling sorry for myself, by the way. I was feeling quite positive. Then I remembered that outside TK Maxx there was a business card machine. You could put £2 in, and you could print 50 business cards
Oh, really?
with anything you like written on.
Oh, really?
That's quite
Be careful what you put in there then. Accidentally. Oh, damn it. Oh, got that wrong.
It's just the card machine's probably not there anymore.
Oh, it's probably not there. Would be
Sadly,
fun.
it has gone, but
Has
it
it?
was a wonderful thing. I mean, imagine that.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if you remember Mr. Ben.
Yes.
I do.
I love it.
I love Mr. Bennett.
Bennett, Mr. Bear is one of my favourites
Yeah,
too.
as if by magic a shopkeeper appeared.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you could be anything.
The cartoon series back in the 70s, it must have been.
Yeah.
It didn't matter what it came out as. It was like, oh, what's it going to be today?
Yeah.
Yes. So there's the idea.
Yeah.
The seed of this
You didn't put
reinvention.
Mr. Ben on the business cards, did you?
Tracy, no. Follow the thread. How I became an artist. So I went to the machine and I typed in. I misspelt things as well on the first row, and only had to put the £2 in, and it said Rob Hughes, artist, with my phone number on. And the tagline underneath was boat rocking and bridge burning a speciality. And that was it then. I had 50 business cards in my pocket, and I was an artist. And when I met people from then on, said, who are you? I'd pull out the business card, and they'd give them the business card and say, I'm Rob Hughes, the artist. And that was it then.
Okay.
So that's the transition.
Right, well
Okay.
that's really interesting actually.
Exactly.
Because what then,
Manifested it.
Yeah.
You manifested yourself as an artist.
kind of, yeah, because you need the feedback from the world to tell you.
Yeah, you're an artist, as it says on the card.
Exactly. So I mean, there are multiple layers to this. But as soon as I started doing that, people treated me like an artist.
That's really interesting.
Yes. So if if you have a business card that says, you know, accountant,
Yeah.
people will treat you like an accountant. You'll never be invited to any parties. If you've got one that says artist, then you get invited to so many parties.
So you got invited to so many parties.
Yes.
Excellent. And you were like, what am I doing? This is brilliant.
Well, and the thing grows now.
Yeah.
You know, you get feedback from the universe, and it says,
Yeah.
you're an artist, can you do me this work? Okay, yeah, I can, yeah, I'll have a go at that. And that's really how it happened.
Wow.
So you became an artist.
Yes.
And so what happened next? Did you find you got commissions? I mean, what style of artist type of work were you pursuing?
Well, that's another story too.
Oh, we like
I'm
another
asking the
story.
right questions in the moment then, aren't I?
We like a story. Go on.
So yeah, I mean, what do artists do? That was another problem I had, you know, because I knew I'd like drawing, and I got quite good at that. I'd already had some experience going into the school my daughter was at, showing the kids how to draw. So I thought, well, I'll teach drawing.
Right.
I'll teach it.
Excellent.
So I bought 8 tables. I had a room about the size of this place.
Yeah.
That was my front room. I put 8 tables in there with 2 chairs at each.
Yeah.
I stood at the front, big clock on the wall like you have in a schoolroom, yeah. Essential ingredients. And then I recruited people to come and,
Oh, really?
yeah, come and learn to draw with Mr. Hughes.
It's like Bob. It was like, what's that Bob? The Afro man.
Yeah, I don't know what he's called, but yeah.
Bob.
He's very
yes.
calm. Yes.
Yeah, happy little clouds.
Yes.
Happy little trees.
Ooh, lovely.
So that worked. You got people in. You were
It did,
teaching.
it did. But then I ran into the problem that I'm sure you're all you're all familiar with, which is that there are people doing the same sorts of things and they're subsidised, or they've got another job, and for them it's a part-time thing. So the limits of what you can earn are constrained by what the market can stand.
Yeah.
So I must have had 100 people through in the year or so I was doing that.
Good.
And with great reports and
Yeah.
success.
What sort of age range are we talking?
Mostly women in their 40s to 50s.
Okay.
That was almost always the market.
What kind of styles did you teach?
So because I could draw quite well by that point, because I've been practicing, I could do portraits, and people were really hungry to make likenesses of people.
Yeah.
So I would teach them that.
Okay.
I would teach them the structure of the face.
Yeah.
And, you know, how to make a picture of somebody look like somebody.
Yeah.
And there are very simple rules you can follow to do that.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
when for instance, you're teaching your tango, there is like, here's the beginner steps.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
Once you've got this going, you can move on to the more sophisticated
Yeah.
stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I was very fortunate to encounter a book called Drawing on the Right Side of the
Oh,
Brain,
I've heard of that.
which was just opened my eyes to the whole thing. How you teach people to draw. Because there is this sort of mystique about art and drawing, which is you're gifted. You've got a gift. Okay, you don't say that about people who can drive well, do you?
Well,
You're gifted. No. Actually, I practiced.
Yeah, you didn't see
Austin
my
Powers. I
three-pointers.
always think of Austin Powers when I think of driving. That's a bit like me.
Oh, in the tunnel.
In that tunnel bit. Because that just cracked me up. I thought, yeah, that's typical. That's me. Yeah.
So you don't just happen to be good at things.
Yeah.
You're drawn to them because there's something inside you,
Yeah, that's true.
but you practice them to get good at them.
Yeah.
And if you're drawn powerfully enough to a thing, your desire to practice those skills exceeds other people's. So the other people who go, oh yeah, I quite like to draw, but they don't have the need to.
Yeah.
They, whatever. I quite like to tango. You need to. Do you know what I mean? But there are people who are driven to it.
Yeah,
They're
there are.
pulled by some force towards these things.
Yeah, it's true. Some people just want to learn more and more and they practice, and other people just do it as a social.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
absolutely fine, you know?
That's what it is, isn't it?
That's what they want.
Yeah. So, can we have a look at some of these?
Yeah.
So yeah, here's some stuff I was working on during the pandemic.
Excellent.
So I
It's all
became,
very neat, isn't it?
well, this is
Very-
a great
very
great
neat.
book of suffering.
Oh, God.
Wow.
We need another table for the tea, I think.
I need Edgar to sort of just get close to me.
Yeah, I'm going to put mine away from
Oh, yeah.
the
'cause we've
work.
got a lot of it.
Somebody don't knock anything
That would be a
over.
good idea, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I actually walked into that damn parrot the other day. I've got a massive bruise on my shin because it was on the floor.
Oh, it's not his fault.
Edgar the parrot, it nearly did my leg in. because he's heavy.
He's pretty heavy.
Anyway, sorry, back to Rob.
Right. So I came across a sketchbook I'd made at college many, many years ago. And it had these faces in. And I realised that the same theme that I'd been obsessed with as a kid was coming through in the work I was making now. I was very interested to hear your interview.
Okay.
When you were talking about the faces and things you were making.
Yeah.
Because there are these things which we can't stop doing. And they reappear in our work.
That's right.
And they become, if we recognise them, they become our individual language.
Yeah, it is.
And Yuri was saying, Yuri was just exploring that wonderful territory as well.
Yeah.
Of finding a language to express yourself in. So I found mine, which were faces.
Oh, nice. Can you see that?
The camera.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
There we go.
Mary can get it closer.
I can get it in close. It's got like poetry or
But
something.
you're a poet as well, aren't you?
I am a poet too.
Can I
I'm
get in
not
there?
a very good poet, but there you go.
Leo's a poet.
That's
Obviously
really.
in
Can you see that?
Norse and sharp.
It's lovely, isn't it? And there's poetry in there as well.
No, well, that isn't poetry. That's from. Those are all the mentions of the Magdalena in the Bible.
Really?
So I was very interested in the Magdalena as a character.
Okay.
So all of this work,
Oh.
the work I made here, and there's more.
Yeah.
It's not finished.
No.
It's like a work in progress. So I became very interested in suffering throughout the
Okay.
pandemic,
love it.
and how we try and avoid it, which
Yeah.
I don't think is very productive for a society or a culture. I think we actually need to learn how
Pull these
to
in.
do it better.
They're really good, aren't they?
They're lovely, lovely colours. So what media are you using to produce these?
Well, these are all sorts of things. So they get I'm a little cautious about revealing the secrets behind the curtain.
Yeah, that's fine.
But basically, I make the faces in Photoshop,
Yeah.
combine different elements to make them like iconic faces,
Yeah.
and then I print those onto prepared backgrounds, and then I embellish them. And sometimes I have text.
Yeah. I tried.
I'll try, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
Put it in the camera.
Yeah.
No, I've got to keep doing this because they're quite delicate to look at.
Sort of the parrot over here.
Yeah, it's possible.
Hang on, I'm doing that all wrong, aren't I? Well, do you know what? I see everything back to front.
It's not back
Am I
to front.
Is it me? Oh no, I've got to go that way.
Yeah,
It's quite powerful, isn't it?
it is. Very.
So, these, is it women suffering or is it general suffering?
Well, this is the language, isn't it? So we have our own particular language, and my language is through the female form.
Okay.
I've tried painting self-portraits. I've tried, because you were asking what does an artist do, kind of how did I set myself up from printing the business card into becoming who I was.
Yeah.
I tried a bit of landscape, and I don't know if you tried that around here, but there's a lot of people doing it.
Yes,
Yours
I
are
know.
lovely, but there's
Thank
a lot
you.
of people doing it.
Yeah, I've moved on now.
I'm just going to put those up.
And I tried it, and it's a beautiful place to paint, but I wasn't saying anything about me.
Yeah.
It wasn't from my soul.
Yeah, I guess I know it is. I can understand that.
And the sadness about that is that people like them and they'll pay for them.
Yeah.
And of course, then your own individuality gets corrupted
Yeah.
because you reproduce things that people will pay for rather than things you want to do.
Yeah. Exactly.
I love this one.
Because it doesn't always appeal when you're coming from your heart.
No.
It doesn't always appeal to everyone. It's not a mass market thing. It's a
No.
very niche market.
Exactly.
And and the thing is with artists, I think well, I know from experience. I'm the same. I tend to do things that are from within rather than what is out there.
Well, that's the only way to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the bit of you, the immutable
That's it.
soul inside Mary
That's
that wants
it.
to be heard.
Ooh, little Mary.
It's beautiful work.
It is lovely, isn't it?
It's very unusual.
Yeah.
This is almost like a manuscript.
I know, it's lovely.
The idea about doing it this way was so I could do it rapidly
Yeah.
at home,
Yeah.
and that there was no sort of.
I like the way
I
you've
love this.
presented it. It's
Did
very
you show
smart.
this one?
Yeah, I
love this
did,
one.
yeah.
It's beautiful colours.
I'll put it again because I really like that one.
Beautiful
Can you
colours.
see that? Amazing, isn't it? It's lovely, isn't it? What sort of paper are you using? It looks like a little bit of, is it just normal?
Some of it's normal paper, some of it's photocopy paper, some of it's watercolour paper.
Yeah.
It depends what I've got.
Yeah, exactly. You find what's in the house, don't you? That's what I do.
Yeah.
Find scraps and things like that, and I just go, oh, I like a bit of that. I'll put that in
Is
it.
this the size you always use? Did you ever do bigger?
No, I do mostly bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like doing it this size. It was just what was practical.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you're making things the size of a page, and you think, okay, well, I'll put them in a book.
No, I like it because it actually could be a book. You
It
could
could be a
write a
book.
book.
Yeah.
You know, like
Especially
a
if you
visual.
combine it with your poetry as well.
Exactly.
That'd be really nice.
Actually, that would be really good. That's an idea.
Well, it's funny.
Oh, we've got something happening here. What's happening?
Well, I'll come to that in a moment. But
Okay.
I did want to just complete the story arc.
Sure.
Of how I got to, I covered all the things. So, it's teaching, portraiture, and that took off in a small way. And I ended up doing loads of workshops for art groups and travelling a bit with that. But eventually I ran out of steam on it and money. The eviction notice came through, as they do. And you think to yourself, oh Jesus, now what am I going to do?
Oh.
So somebody then, a shopkeeper, friend of mine, who I became friends with later, commissioned me to do a painting of a girl's legs for her shoe shop. Oh wow, that's an interesting thing. So I've tried still life, I've done some still life, as practice for the students. I've done some landscapes, I've sold a couple.
Yeah.
Let's try nudes. And that was it for me, really.
Okay.
I took to that like a duck to water.
Yeah.
I found my form. So I got some responses to the advert for legs required.
Legs required.
And then went on this journey then, painting a number of muses who I formed very close relationships with. And they became the subjects for my work.
Oh wow.
And so it was sort of recording the experiences that we had in the classical, artist's way.
Yeah.
Which was wonderful. Then of course you get a bit old.
Do you have any examples of that still or not?
I do. Can I get something from the case now?
Yeah, of course you can. Yeah, that's all good.
We're just keeping our drinks well out of the way because we don't want any Maryisms.
We don't want any Maryisms.
Or Tracyisms actually with liquid.
Quite honestly though, it's Sunday, so. Oh.
I'm here for you.
Okay.
And you can filter them as required.
I'm just going to pop one up while you're looking through your artwork. So this is an example
So
of some of
these
the
are all
nudes.
the small ones, like I said, that haven't sold.
That's really lovely. What mediums
The
was
small ones that
this?
haven't sold.
But yeah, you might not want to put these on the thing, but that's up to you.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's all right. It's art, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, the female form, well, any form, body form, when you're doing in life drawing, you don't see it as a body.
No.
Do you know what I mean? You see it as a form, like you say.
Yeah.
You kind of go into that whole.
You do.
Yeah.
You see the shapes
You
and
see shapes and
the
lines
and the
and
lines
contours.
and everything. So a lot of people get a bit like, oh, life drawing, but actually, it's as artists, I think it's a lot about the shape and the form and the way it's like, It's Sunday, everyone.
But it is the afternoon.
Oh, it is the afternoon, so you're allowed a bit of that. That's lovely. And what have you used on that then?
So it's a dry brush technique, so it's oil
Okay.
with a little bit of acrylic in the background to make this gold.
Yeah.
So you paint the base dark, and you paint essentially the highlights in with the dry brush. Often because you've got a rough surface,
Yeah.
and don't forget dry brush.
Yeah.
Just dab the white on.
Yeah.
It gets this lovely 3D effect, and you just put some little bits of colour in over the top. And
Yeah.
ta-da!
Yeah.
So I always like the graphic elements of the work.
Yes.
So I've been at college and studied graphic design.
I was going to say, did you do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
think that's all three of us.
We've all done that,
Isn't
haven't
it?
we?
We've all got that design background. And you can probably you can actually see that in all our
Is
work.
that
In
upside
your
down,
work.
Ray? Is that one upside down?
Oh, it is. Yeah. Sorry. It's just. I see a Mary. That was a Maryism. Sorry. There we go. She's got lovely red hair.
She did. She was splendid. She still is splendid.
Did you ever do any graphic design? You said you studied
Oh,
graphic
yes.
design. You did
Yeah,
graphic design too.
Did that. I worked
Lovely red
in-house
hair.
for a company doing graphic design
Yeah.
for 18 months.
Okay.
But you get bored,
Yeah.
and then you get resentful.
Yeah, I find graphic design is one of those things, isn't it? You do, like I was saying last time, you see it at a screen. It's just a little bit. I found it a little bit mundane.
Yeah.
A bit
It pays.
that type.
Well, it pays
that
the bills,
type down
doesn't
there. That little bit goes in that. Oh, for God's sake.
It depends what clients you got.
That's
I mean,
true.
if
There's
you're in a
some
really
urban-
boring client, you think, oh my God, why am I
Quite a
even
few
here?
of them, though, clearly.
But if you have something interesting, then
Yeah,
that's,
there are interesting
yeah.
projects, but I just find that
But if you get more of the boring than the interesting, then it's a bit soul destroying.
Yeah.
I did enjoy it. So I moved into it. So I did doing some illustration work.
Yeah.
Because I could draw again, So, okay. Could you do draw this thing for this packet of soap? Okay, yeah, I can do that. And then they introduced me from that into the people who made the soap. I was like, okay, can you come and work for us in-house? Okay, yes I can, here's what you've got to pay me. And they didn't, it was very frustrating.
Oh.
But yeah, but that was that.
So you produced this during lockdown,
Yes.
and then we mentioned poetry and books, and you said, well, there's a
Oh, the
thing.
poetry, yes. So I've had a long and endearing journey with poetry. And I had this revelation recently that poetry is one of the things that saved my life. On a number of occasions, at my extreme, it's been poetry that's brought me back.
Okay.
And people think, okay, yeah, that's nice. I mean, you're feeling low when you read a bit of nice poetry. And I'm like, no, that's not what I mean at all. Now, I mean, not the thing on the page, but the belief that poetry is real.
Yeah.
That's what saved me.
Okay.
That there is another. So when you go into a bookshop, right? There's the non-fiction section.
Yeah.
There's the fiction section. Poetry is not in the fiction section.
Okay.
It's not in the fiction section for a very good reason, because it's real. Poetry is real. There's
Yes.
a truth in poetry that is you couldn't do in prose. You couldn't write a story in 14 lines and convey everything that's in a poem. Poetry has this ability to supersede the mundane and access this sort of spiritual, eternal realm. And so I've always loved poetry. And recently I've fallen in love with a poet. It's wonderful.
Oh.
I know, sweet.
How sweet is that?
And I think we're going to get a collaboration
Okay.
of her work and mine.
Okay.
Using this.
Yeah, I was going to say it'd be really
method.
nice.
Yeah.
Just
beautiful.
because they're beautiful, aren't they? So that would work well. And I suppose you can do the work to reflect, or would you use these as
No, so it would be generated specifically with the poetry in
absolutely.
mind as a sort of feedback with it.
Okay. So you're going to write together, or are you going to write your own stuff, or?
Well, I think the way it works best is putting yourself in service of some other cause. So if you try and make it all about you,
Yeah.
I know from my own experience, I've planned so many fantastic projects, so many wonderful exhibitions, so many ways in which I'm going to change the world forever, and nothing ever happens.
Yeah.
But occasionally somebody's asked me for some help,
Okay.
and I've gone, yes, I'll do anything to help you. And I have.
Okay.
Generally speaking, I've been able to produce the work and make the thing for them for a
Okay.
deadline and finish it and go, there you go, has
Yeah.
that helped?
Yeah.
So I think that's a better deal
Okay.
if I harness my creativity with her poetic ability.
Yeah.
So has the poetry always gone hand in hand with the art? Did poetry come first, or the art came first?
I think they're born from the same need. So we have this conception of artistic talent that is self-generated.
Yeah.
That's your own individuality. Don't believe that for a second. I don't believe that for a second. I think that there are forces pulling us in the world. That there are things out there that the Greeks identified as the muses. They had 9 of them back then. 9 female muses, and it's definitely a female energy that comes and inspires, and it's like a pull-push force. So there's the driving force from within, which Freud would have called libido, and Jung called eros. this kind of energy that pushes, and then there are the directions in which it gets pulled, and those are what a psychologist would call your drift or your pull into a particular thing. So I don't think that the creativity resides in people all the time. I think we are creative people, but we are answering to something that comes to us from outside. So we make ourselves available to it. So we turn up at the easel, we turn up at the typewriter, we turn up wherever we are. And if we're fortunate and we're in the right frame of mind, we're uncluttered, we can then have that thing come out of us, through us.
That's actually quite interesting, because it's not, I'm like that sometimes I just can't create, and there's a reason why I can't create. Like I'll look at a canvas and I just can't do anything, and I don't know how other creators feel, but you can go through that, and then it's sometimes you just get this vision, and you think, oh, I'm going to just try it, I've got to do it, and then you know you've got to do it.
It's like, I know what you mean. When I'm really creative, it's this is going to sound really weird, but I become more spiritual.
Yeah.
Things happen to me that it's almost weird things happen to me that I think, why is this happening? Oh, I remember seeing things and then they've happened.
Yeah.
It's going to sound really weird. I am not crazy.
No, but it's an interesting, because I think I think creativity does almost enlighten you in a way.
And it happens when I'm most creative, I've noticed.
Yeah.
That's really strange.
So Abraham Maslow talked about self-actualization. So Maslow's hierarchy of needs, this familiar model of human need. So you have the base level.
Yeah. No, that wasn't.
No, that's the victim triangle.
Okay.
We could talk about that later, but that's...
No, it's fine.
Maslow, Abraham Maslow, proposed the idea that we're moving towards self-actualization. That it is like pulling us.
Okay.
And he was a psychologist. And instead of studying sick people, he said that's a very bad way to be a mental health practitioner. Because all we're going to do is just look at all the sick people all the time and just write what their conditions are down on pieces of paper and shuffle them around. So why don't we find some really, really healthy people who are fully human, fully self-actuated, and see what they're up to, see what characteristics and qualities they're displaying that mean they're having these fantastic lives. And those moments you've just described are moments of self-actualization, those moments of flow state, when you're doing your thing. And the world is kind of, it sparkles in a different way.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird when it happens. Yeah. But I noticed it was far more when I was at art college, when I was very happy, and in creative moments since then, very creative moments. It's quite strange.
It is.
Yeah.
And
Abraham Maslow, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Abraham Maslow.
Yeah.
Very, very good teacher.
He's very into philosophy.
Yeah.
You'd like talking to Leah.
I'm sure
And
it would,
poetry.
yes. So yes, Abraham Maslow, and then following on, there's other stuff we could talk about from that.
Yeah.
But so this study of healthy people included creative people. So when you're entering those flow states of natural, when time has been suspended and you're there working away and there's just nothing else in the world except you and your art, and it's flowing through you, and it all seems to be working very well. You look at the clock and it's been like 4 hours.
Yeah. So I said to you the other day, isn't it? It's like 4 hours is gone.
Yeah.
So this kind of goes into then this idea of synchronicity and the collective unconscious, Jung's idea that we're all connected by some sort of mythological unconscious connecting everybody. And in those flow states, we get the opportunity to commune with this collective unconscious and our own part of that unconscious. Some quite big concepts we're dealing with here on a Sunday.
It's a Sunday.
You thought this would be a light chat with Rob the artist. No.
It's quite. It's fine. It's interesting,
Let's
isn't
go to
it?
deep dive.
It is Sunday. What can we say?
Analytical psychology, here we come.
Yeah.
So you have to think of these things as more than the mundane, and I think that's important, and I think it's very difficult for artists to reach that realization in their lives, because it is a bit sacred. It is really special, and not everybody has it. That mythology that everybody's creative is absolute hogwash.
Yeah.
I've met loads of people who have display zero creativity in their lives, in the way they dress, in the work they do. Absolutely none.
Yeah.
And all those people, anybody can be creative. I can teach you to be creative. Forget it. Just leave that.
I mean, yeah, you're right. Actually, yeah.
You know, it's nonsense. And because of that propaganda, we've all treated our own creativity as trivial.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's not.
No.
It's not.
It's a gift.
Yeah, here's another one. You stand outside there on the beach. By the way, guys, we're in a lovely, beautiful location here. The sea is maybe 100,
It's over
200
there.
yards away.
That way.
That way. That way.
Right.
That way.
It's that way. It's that way. Pointing the right way.
And if you go down to the beach and you stand on the beach, you can look across to the Purbecks, where, do you know that there's like 3 humps?
Yeah.
Yeah. One of those is called 9 Barrows Down.
Okay.
Why is it called 9 Barrows Down?
Don't know, but please tell me.
You're getting so much more than you bargained for today.
I hate that question as well.
Please tell me, sir.
Yes, it's awful, isn't it? It's such a patronising trick teachers play. No, because I've complained myself about this one.
No, it's good. It's good.
So when you stand on
Tell
the
us,
beach
I don't know it.
and you look across the 9 Barrows Down, across the top of that hill are 9 Iron Age burial sites.
Right.
Oh.
Now you didn't get buried in the Iron Age unless you were special.
Yes.
They normally burnt you or put you in a boat and sent you down the river. They didn't. So those 9 burial mounds are likely tribal leaders or kings.
Probably. Yeah.
Or magicians or wise women or
Or
some
important
important
people.
high
People.
status people. Yeah. Now if you go to Wallisdown and you look on the Ordnance Survey map from 1971 of Wallisdown, it's 2 Mulai, 2 Mulai, 2 Mulai, 2. It's covered in hundreds of burials,
Right.
yeah, which they ploughed up and built over.
Oh,
University.
no.
Well, here's the thing. When you're walking across the beach here, when you're walking across the Purbecks, when you're at Bournemouth University and you're kicking up the dust from the floor, you're kicking up the dust of those kings and magicians.
Oh my.
And you're breathing it in. Yes.
Lovely.
Exactly. And so we treat this heritage that we've got because we were the magicians, we were the druids, we were those great Celtic weavers of spells and magic with our words. And we treat all these things, our heritage, so poorly.
It's true.
We've forgotten it. We are the descendants of kings, of magicians, of thousands of generations of people who have survived terrible suffering just so we can be here and live through these beautiful days.
Exactly.
That's very true. And that's a good message for Sunday afternoon, I think.
That's a good Sunday message.
As Deepa's calling.
Deepa's on it.
I might need to go and see if Deepa's here, actually.
Deepa's here. Oh, can you go and get Deepa?
Yeah.
He might be upstairs.
He might be here.
Oh,
Go see if you can see somebody wandering around, because it looks like he's messaging me.
it's another
Yeah.
guest.
Yeah. So see if you can see him, because he's probably wondering where we are.
That's really interesting because we do. I think people have forgotten about the heritage and the history of the place, and like you say, we could kicking up dust and it's them.
Yeah, it is.
It's
And this part of England is a very magical part as well.
it is, yeah.
In the Wessex, you see the references all the time, the Wessex area.
Yeah.
It's so ancient.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really interesting, really. I love history. So.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. It's fascinating, isn't it?
It is, and archaeology, I love all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's all on the doorstep here.
I know.
Isn't
It's
it?
incredible.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that. I didn't know about that.
I didn't know it was called
The
Nine
umps.
Barrows. No.
The
9 Barrows Down. Yeah.
9 Barrows Down. That's amazing.
I know, when we're literally walking through it.
Yeah.
I think we're going to need to bring this to an end because
Oh,
I know it's gone by so quickly and it's been really
That's
interesting.
so interesting.
Happy to come back again.
Yeah.
Good, yes,
I find it like
Deepa is definitely calling again, so I'm assuming he's either not around or I need to find out what's going on because Deepa is our next interviewee, so I need to take this call, unfortunately.
live on air.
Because it doesn't sound like Leo's found him upstairs, so maybe he's online.
Okay.
But thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
in.
That was amazing.
Please come back again and we
Oh,
can spend a
really?
lot longer talking to you. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Could have done with an hour,
Yeah.
really. Couldn't we?
Yes.
It could have done with an hour, really, to be fair.
We'll go long form podcast on
Yeah,
this.
shall we?
Yes, we're going to find out where oh dear, is that you, Mary?
Don't think so.
We're going to find out where Deepa is. That could be him calling now.
Yeah.
Rob's phone by the sound of it. But thank you, Rob, for coming
Thank
in.
you
You're welcome.
so much. It was amazing.
And we'll see you soon.
Thanks for
Okay, see you in
watching.
about 10 minutes. Bye.
Take care.